Reaching you live from iBrand Newsroom in Lagos, Nigeria. Coming up, President Muhammadu Buhari meets with security chiefs at the State House in Abuja. Botswana and Zambia marks the completion of a multi-million-dollar road rail link bridge project. U.S. children ages 12 to 15 could begin COVID-19 vaccination on Thursday. Google Pay launched international money transfer partnership with remittances firms Wise and Western Union. Many thanks for joining us on News Now. Here are some stories making headlines at this hour. My name is Margaret. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari and Nigerian security chief are currently meeting at the State House in Abuja. The meeting is coming over 24 hours after armed robbers attempted to attack the residence of the Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Gambari, on Monday. The presidency announced the meeting via its Twitter handle, but did not give details of its agenda. However, the meeting is expected to review the current security situation in the country. Among others at the meeting are the Vice President Yemi Osibajo, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mongono. We'll bring you more details in our subsequent bulletins. Moving on, there's heavy security in Asaba, the Delta State capital, as Southern governors meet today, Tuesday. However, the meeting is expected to review the persistent attacks on police assets and killings of policemen in the southeast and south-south and kidnappings. Security operatives were seen at strategic points in the capital to forestall any unseen occurrences. The road leading to the government house, the venue of the summit, had been barricaded while security at the entrance gate has also been beefed up. We'll bring you details later. Now, following the attacks by gunmen, unknown gunmen, communities in Imo State are embarking on forming their own vigilantes. Most residents in the state are now building iron gates on the streets to monitor movement in their communities.
To establish an organized, harmonized, and formidable, viable vigilance outfit to consolidate the security of lives and properties in prefab. Barricades are to be erected at the entrance of every street in prefab as a part of security measures to checkmate the incessant hold and bag snatch, especially now that the country is facing serious security challenges.
When you find a group of people coming to, organize a jailbreak, and the security in the states was not able to stop them, government should go after the security apparatus of our country and call them to order. It's not to call for any dialogue that will stand as a precedent for any other secessional group to begin to agitate using a gun or using a bomb or whatever. We are not in support of that. When the security fails, you see what you saw in Imo State. It is the failure of security. It's not the failure of the Nigerian youth. It is not the failure of the Nigerian government. But we must also acknowledge the fact that security is part of the government.
Meanwhile, the River State Governor, Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike, has extended night curfew from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. with effect from Tuesday in order to stem dastardly attacks on security formations in the state. He said the decision has been taken in the wake of multiple armed ambush on police checkpoints along the east-west road, which resulted in the cold-blooded murder of 7 police officers over the weekend. Governor Wike said the State Security Council have reviewed the way and manner the recent attacks were executed and discovered that the perpetrators would disguise themselves as security officers moved unhindered from Oyibo to launch the attack. Governor Wike will consult the families of the dead officers, and the State Police Command for the Irreparable Loss declared that the government and security agencies are determined to deploy everything at their disposal to advance the safety and security of lives and properties in the state.
However, as a further step towards enhancing our collective safety, we have reviewed the existing nighttime curfew across the 23 local government areas, which will now start from 7 p.m. and end at 6 a.m. until further notice from tomorrow, 11th of May, 2021. The security agencies are hereby directed to note the new curfew time, ensure strict compliance, and effectively deal with any person or group that violates or attempts to violate this order. We have reviewed and for the moment declined the pressure on the state government to activate our youth to defend the state from these terrorists, because we don't want to complicate our very delicate security situation by creating opportunities for some other monsters to emerge. We have reviewed the way and manner the recent attacks were executed and discovered that the perpetrators, who disguised themselves as security officers, moved in unhindered from Oyibo local government to launch the attack. The nation's security agencies are on their trail, and we are confident that they will all be arrested soon and brought to justice. We wish to assure every resident they were not intimidated by the sporadic and cowardly attacks on predetermined security targets by faceless criminals on our soil. Neither will we be cowed into succumbing to a baseless and doomed secessionist agenda.
Now, the Abia State Police Command says it has commenced full investigation into Sunday's fire at the Wafia office of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The police public relations officer in the state, SP Godfrey Ogbonna, told newsmen in Umuahia on Monday that available information shows that the attack was carried out by miscreants who raised down the office building together with the electronic gadgets, official documents, and office furniture. Ogbonna said the assailants attacked the facility at about 10 p.m. on Sunday. The PPRO said the miscreants were, however, repelled through the combined efforts of the police and army. Mr. Festus Okoye, INEC National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, in a statement on Monday in Abuja, stated that the Bonds facility was recently renovated. Okoye stated that the Commission would convene an emergency meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security to discuss the attacks on its offices in some parts of the country. Now, away from that, the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has charged the 11-man panel inaugurated to probe the management of the MPA for alleged looting to be diligent in finding out the procurement processes of the MPA from 2016 up to date. Amechi stating that with over $1 trillion being generated by the MPA in the last 5 years, it is important to find out how this money has been expended by the management of the MPA. He, however, added that no one has been indicted for any offence and asked Nigerians to support the work of the panel.
The submission, the budget submission, and the submission that they tendered before the budget office. So if their budget in 5 years is between 300 to 400 billion, let's go by 300 billion. If you multiply it by five years, how much would that be? That would be either nearly 1 trillion or slightly above 1 trillion. So it will take you some time to go through income, expenditure. We're not auditing, so that the Auditor General won't say you're interfering with his responsibilities. But we want to find out the processes and how the money was spent and all that. And you should please be diligent. Invite anybody you want to invite. Please invite the minister if there are infractions that involves the minister. I've been minister for 6 years now. So if there's any infraction that you see that requires explanation by the minister, I'll be glad to appear before you and give such explanation, if any. Any other person in the ministry or in MPA that you need to invite, please do invite. Let's see what's going on.
We are going to work. We are going to be honest and fair in the discharge of this warrior's responsibility, so that at the end of the day, when we turn out our report, it will be good and it will ensure that what is praised, what the panels were raised was achieved, and I believe we are going to do in the interests of the ministry, of the country as a whole.
Now, in other stories, the lawmaker representing Iseyin, Tesiwaju Kajola Federal Constituency, Shino Pella, has donated ambulances, free medical services, eye tests, and other medical kits to ensure that more lives are saved and women, children enjoy qualitative healthcare delivery services. Speaking at the event which took place on Sunday in Iseyin, the lawmaker stated that it was the duty of the government to make life more meaningful for its citizens. Delaware, addressing security issues in his constituency, stated that he is doing all within his capacity to ensure that they sleep confidently in their homes.
We talked about how else can I celebrate my birthday. I've always been celebrating my birthday over the years, being excited, throwing parties and all. But look at what happened within the last year and now, the case of coronavirus, that's ravaging the world, and also even insecurity that is in Nigeria and even some part of the world as well. This now gave me a different perspective. To birthdays, to actually see that as much as we are celebrating more years on earth, we should understand that we are getting closer to our grave. And for this reason, you need to start to think about what do you want to be remembered for. And for that purpose, I decided that we'll be having a symposium on national security and peace.
For his constituency, he has been trying. Since he was elected, he has provided many things for the farmers. Apart from that, he has done a very great one. He has done a very great thing for the 4 local governments he is controlling. Even he had, to the extent that he had already made boreholes for the 4 local governments. And apart from that, the ambulance vehicles that he provided for the sick people, today is an opportunity. And we pray that by the grace will of God, he will achieve whatever he wants in the nearest future.
Now, following the desecration of the Catholic Cathedral Church by the supporters of the Spiritual Director Adoration Ministry, Enugu, Nigeria, Amen, Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka has announced the immediate shutdown of all activities in the ministry till June 10, 2021. Mbaka supporters had on Wednesday last week attacked the Bishop Court and Diocesan Cathedral, destroying valuable property and desecrating the holy altar of the church. But Mbaka, in a statement titled Notice to All Adorers, through his media team on Tuesday morning, said he would be embarking on a private prayer retreat for penance and atonement. The statement partly read, our spiritual director, Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka, wishes to inform his beloved adorers that he has embarked on a private prayer retreat that will end on 10th June 2021. Consequently, no ministry activities shall be held in the ministry ground pending his return. He directed members of the ministries are to observe this period of this retreat as they used to during the general usual breaks of the ministry, by praying at their homes, being charitable and fasting according to their ability. Now, some group under the auspices of Hill City Christian Center have empowered over 200 youth and women in various skill acquisition to give them sense of livelihood in Banawa community in Kaduna State. Speaking at the 4th year anniversary of Hill City Center in Banawa, Kaduna, South Local Government Area of Kaduna State, the leader Pastor Samson Ishaya says the aim of the youth empowerment is to train youth, orphans and women in the community through various skill acquisition and empower them to self-reliance and equipment of the various skills they learned. He stated that no country, state or community develops when young youth are idle without any income, as this will increase the high rate of crime in the society.
Official empowerment, I think we should empower more than 200 people. The last one we did alone, we empowered over 100. And we have done 2 previous ones at our level as a church. And then our women arm also has been able to do something like that in a small place called Barnawa in Kaduna State. And this thing that is happening here is gradually becoming a big thing and is going global. When good things happen, people should announce it. What we are doing here, people need to know, one, so that they will be able to benefit from it, and then some people can also be able to partner with us so that more can be done for other. The church plays a spiritual oversight. I know that we have security forces.
We'll take a short break now. We'll be back for news on the African scene. Stay with us.
It's good for body, no chemical at all. This now real banga. No more wahala or pandy washy. Just put on for fire and your food done ready. Everybody follow me, chop banga, hey banga, extra. Make you follow me, chop banga, cook don't easy. Banga na palm fruit, where they come out. Put them inside can. You fit use banga cook any
kind soup where you like, and other food them like rice, beans, and even yam. Now, Pali Agro Product Limited then they manufacture them. For distribution, make you call 070-666-38213. Banga, make your food yummy.
You're welcome back, and now the African news. A road and rail bridge link in Botswana and Zambia was inaugurated on Monday, marking the completion of a multi-million-dollar project aimed at easing congestion at border crossings throughout the Southern Africa region. The curved Kazungula bridge, which stretches for 923 meters, some 3,000 feet over the Zambezi River, provides a long-needed alternative route for hauliers. Constructions of the $259 million equivalent to 213 million euro project began in December 2014, co-funded by the African Development Bank, AfDB, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, regional government, and other grants. At Monday's ceremony, Botswana's President Mokgweetsi Masisi said the bridge would open avenues for improved trade. And now the foreign news. Palestinian militants fired barrage of rockets into Israel, and Israeli warplanes pounded Gaza in the early hours of Tuesday, and unrest also spread within Israeli Arab communities in Jerusalem. A Palestinian official said Egypt, Qatar, and the United Nations were trying to intervene to stem the violence, the worst in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict since 2019, as the Muslim holy month of Ramadan peaks. The Gaza Health Ministry said 23 Palestinians, including 9 children, had been killed and 107 wounded by Israeli strikes in a destitute enclave since clashes surged on Monday. Israel disputed the account, saying it had killed at least 15 fighters from Hamas, the dominant force in Gaza, and allied factions. It said at least 6 people were reported wounded by the Sanoffs in southern Israel. The escalation began with confrontation at Al-Aqsa Mosque in the heart of Jerusalem's walled old city, on the compound known to Jews as Temple Mount, and to the Muslims as Noble Sanctuary, the most sensitive site in the Israel-Palestinian conflict. Still on the foreign scene, U.S. regulators authorized Pfizer, PFEN, and BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine for use in children as young as 12, and said they could begin receiving shots as soon as Thursday, widening the country's inculcation program as vaccination rates have slowed significantly. Now, this is the first COVID-19 vaccine to be authorized in the United States for children ages 12 to 15. Vaccinating younger ages is considered an important step for getting children back into school safely. U.S. President Joe Biden had asked states to make the vaccine available to younger adolescents immediately. Up next is Sports with Judechi. Stay with us.
Welcome to the Sports Updates. I am Judechi Chidi. Former Enyimba of Aba striker Abu Aziz believes the People's Elephants will beat the Pyramids of Egypt in the CAF Confederation Cup if they plan their travel and other logistics very well. Aziz, who advised the Aba team to prepare for rough times in the hands of the Pyramids on March 16, said the Egyptians could use every foul means available to get the advantage in the quarterfinal clash. Aziz predicted that the Pyramids would create an unpleasant atmosphere to put Enyimba under pressure and get the advantage in their home leg of the tie, and advised the management of the club to travel with food, water, and other sensitive materials to Egypt, saying the move would help keep the players safe ahead of the game. The first leg of the quarterfinals will hold on May the 16th, while the return leg holds May the 23rd. And in other stories, world number 2 Naomi Osaka has revealed she is not really sure if the Tokyo 2020 Olympics should go ahead this summer amid the coronavirus pandemic. The Australian Open defending champion, who represents Japan, was asked about the games at the Italian Open on Sunday and stated that although the Olympics is something she has been waiting for her entire life, she thinks a lot of unexpected things have happened in the past year. Osaka added that if the games would put people at risk and make them very uncomfortable, it should be discussed. Local organizers and the International Olympic Committee insist that the games will open as planned on July the 23rd after being postponed from 2020.
Hi, thank you, Judechi. Now in business. As part of measures to grow revenue and attract investors to the mining industry, the federal government, in collaboration with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, on Monday unveiled a policy document on gold mining in Nigeria. UNIDO, alongside Nigeria's Ministries of Environment, Mines and Steel Development, as well as Health, jointly unveiled the National Action Plan for the reduction and eventual elimination of mercury use in the artisanal and small-scale gold mining sector in Nigeria. The parties also unveiled the National Policy in Solid Waste Management as well as National Policy on Plastic Waste Management at the event in Abuja. The Regional Director and UNIDO representative to ECOWAS UNIDO Regional Hub Nigeria, Jane Bakole, said the policy document was an obligation for Nigeria as a party under Minamata Convention and would help drive investments in the mining sector. He said this plan will provide Nigeria with current data and an up-to-date situation analysis of gold mining in Nigeria. The document will also appeal to both local and foreign investors. And also, the Security and Exchange Commission has said capital market operators that fail to renew their registration at the expiration date of late filing on May 31, 2021 will not be eligible to cooperate in the capital market. SEC said in a statement on Monday that this was stated in a circular dated May 10, 2021 and signed by the management of the Commission. It said in line with the requirement for renewal of registration, all CMOs were required to have completed renewal process on or before April 30, 2021. Consequently, the Commission stated that all CMOs are expected to note that late filing for renewal of registration shall only be entertained from May 1st, 2021 to May 31st, 2021, while the names of CMOs which have renewed their registration shall be published on the SEC website and national daily newspapers and communicated to the relevant security exchange and trade associations for their notification, the statement said. Meanwhile, Google has launched international money transfer partnership with remittances, FemWise and Western Union for users of its US payment app, the company said on Tuesday. Google Pay users in the United States can now transfer money to app customers in India and Singapore, with plans to expand to 80 countries available via Wise and 200 via Western Union by the end of the year. Google's foray in the $470 billion remittance market marks a fourth step by technology company to expand into financial services, offering ramping up competition in the digital payment sector. A London-based Wise has launched in 2011 with the aim of making international money transfers cheaper and easier, while Western Union remains a market leader in remittances with a sprawling global network of physical locations. And on that note, we call it a wrap on News Now. Please log on to our website and subscribe to all our YouTube channels for more news updates. My name is Muhammadu Buhari.